Hello, nice seeing you again. In the previous videos we analyzed integrated multifunction business processes. For example, order fulfillment. Thus, we discussed how each individual business transaction going through such a process, like a given customer order that has to be fulfilled, would cross several specialized functions such as order admin, credit approval, inventory management, and so on. These functions often correspond to different departments and, in the pre-ERP era, to different management information systems, each of them with its own database. In that case, whenever the design of the business process dictates that the customer order undergoes an activity, such as checking availability in inventory and reserving the corresponding units, the data on that order must be extracted from one management information system and sent to the next management information system in the task sequence. In our garage analogy, this was equivalent to a car requiring a maintenance operation involving several specialties that would have to be taken to one specialized garage after the other. ERPs are integrated management information systems that can support integrated multifunction business processes without moving data on individual transactions across different management information systems. Rather than just one set of specialized application programs designed to carry out tasks belonging to just one function, such as sales or manufacturing, they encompass several such modules. Thus, an ERP might include an accounting module, a human resources management module, a production management module, and so on. The difference between an ERP and a mere collection of specialized management information systems is that all modules in an ERP share a common database. As you will remember, in previous sessions we introduced a simplified model of a management information system encompassing the specialized application programs, the database management system, and the database itself, including both the data content and the data structure, and highlighted the importance of the database's structure or data model. An ERP, therefore, would encompass several modules or sets of specialized application programs. Each module would typically correspond with one function, and often with one department. There would also be a database management system through which all programs could access in an orderly and coordinated manner the single shared integrated database. In our analogy, an ERP is a comprehensive repair shop that can carry out maintenance operations involving several specialties. It would be organized in semi-independent specialty shops or sections, the modules, each encompassing a team of specialized mechanics, the application programs. There would be, however, a single warehouse, the database, staffed by a team of stockroom operators, the database management system. They would manage and keep in the warehouse not just the spare parts, but also the cars being repaired. We can think of the car just as the sum of all the auto parts it contains. Incoming cars would be received in the warehouse. The mechanics from the various sections would come in turn, carry out their specialized operations, and return the car back to the stockroom operators. There are some key aspects in this arrangement that we shall try to highlight with the help of the analogy. We'll highlight first that each ERP module, or rather the programs within each module, operate almost independently from the rest of the modules, except in that they share a common database and database management system. Thus, the various programs within, say, the accounting module might be tightly intertwined, but they are almost independent of the programs in the other modules, except through the sharing of the database. This allows each module to be developed, installed, and evolved semi-independently from the other modules. In large, complex ERPs, this is key to avoid an explosion of complexity by breaking the huge management information system into several semi-independent, more manageable modules. As we shall discuss later, this also allows a user company, for example, to install only some modules of an ERP or to install the various modules in several stages. This would correspond in the analogy to the ability to manage each of the specialty sections almost independently, and for example to decide which specialty shops to include in our integrated garage and when to add new ones. We'll now look in more detail at the implications of sharing a database among several modules and the restrictions it imposes. Before we do that, however, let us take a short break to answer a few questions just to ensure that the preceding concepts have been soundly assimilated before we build upon them in the next video. Thank you. I will see you there.